Welcome back to another Facebook Live broadcast. I am joined today by my friend and colleague, Casey Barlow. She is a functional medicine certified brain health dietitian nutritionist. That's a mouthful. She's also the co-creator of our Parkinson's gut health protocol, which is open for enrollment this week. And it just so happens to be her birthday today. So welcome, Casey. Happy birthday.
Thanks, you guys. I'm so happy to be here. I love the Invigorate community, and I'm so stoked about our students that are already in our course. It's super exciting.
Yeah, it is super exciting. And, we're going to ask Casey some questions. Sorry, I'm distracted by what's going on in the background right here. But we're going to ask Casey some questions about nutrition. She's been on here before. We've talked about Parkinson's and gut health. We've talked about Parkinson's and sugar cravings. And all of those can be found on our YouTube channel, which we'll make sure to link to. And we've got a lot of great questions queued up. Oh, look, everybody's saying happy birthday. I love that.
So I'm on my phone today because we couldn't get my computer to work, so I can't see comments. Can I see comments on here? I don't think so.
I don't think you can see them on your phone.
Okay, well, I can see them on, I'm going to open up Facebook on my computer. Duh.
Okay, you guys do that. Thank you, everybody, for saying hi. Thank you to everyone who submitted your questions. I have them all written down right here, and we are going to answer all of your questions. If you haven't had a chance to ask your question, we're talking about Parkinson's nutrition, Parkinson's gut health. We're talking about brain health in general. We're also going to answer questions about our new course, the Parkinson's Gut Health Protocol. So anything you want to know, put them in the comment section below. And if you haven't heard about the Parkinson's Gut Health Protocol, it is our new 6-week Parkinson's nutrition course that is enrolling this week, and actually enrollment closes on Thursday. So what we've done is we've taken all of the Parkinson's and brain health nutrition research and our experience working with the Parkinson's community and put everything into a 6-week packaged up program for you to follow it step by step through the 4 phases of gut healing, so you can reduce inflammation, restore your gut microbiome, and just feel generally better, more energy, clearer thinking, and feeling empowered that you know how to eat with a Parkinson's diagnosis. It's not complicated. It's not scary. It's not extreme. We're very logical people, I like to think. Don't you think, Casey?
Yeah, make it simple, easy, attainable, and sustainable. Wow, that kind of rhymed.
That kind of rhymed. Yeah, maybe you should take note of that. Yeah, we'll have to rewind that and play it back so we know what we said. Thank you to everybody who's checking in today. Thank you so much for saying hello. If you want to learn more about the Parkinson's Gut Health Protocol, you can always go to invigoratept.com/gut health. And the other thing I wanted to say is that there have been a lot of people asking about the research behind this program. And all of the research that we accessed is available to you for free. You don't need to go through us to find it. And if you go to invigoratept.com/gut health, you can scroll all the way to the bottom of the page, and it lists every single nutrition study. It lists every single book and presentation that we put into the program, and you can access it and read it and put it together for what works best for you. But we've done it and we've prepackaged it. And if you would like to enroll, make sure you do that by Thursday. But today we're going to answer questions all about nutrition, regardless of if you're in the course or not. So we're also going to talk about the course. If you have questions about the course, let us know in the comment section below, and we will get to it. So another fun announcement. I'm burning.
I think there's a birthday party going on in your lobby now.
There is. Hey guys, I'm doing a broadcast. Can you be a little quieter? Thank you. Sorry about that, everybody. Okay, so I was going to say one fun announcement that's new to our course is we actually have 10-day meal plans in our program. They're not required. They're just suggestions. We're going to talk a lot about changing your diet, and we want to give you as many ideas as possible. So there are going to be people coming in that have a lot of different dietary strategies, I guess, and lifestyles, including people who eat meat, people who don't eat meat, people who only eat eggs, vegans, people who only eat fish, all kinds of dietary, picky eaters, all kinds of different things. And so we give you
really fun.
Yes, I know, it's never a dull day, I'm sure, at Theory Health. Yes.
Yeah.
So let's start there. Maybe we can talk about the program and how people of different kind of eating backgrounds are going to navigate the program. And then maybe you can talk to us a little bit about different diets. So tell us, can people modify the Parkinson's Gut Health Protocol if they have different degrees of eating habits?
Of course. So, I mean, we try to make this all encompassing for everybody. So whether you're Vigo, vegan, keto, vegetarian, what are there? There's carnivore diet. There's so many. We wanted to make this approachable for all of you guys. So no matter your dietary preferences, this gut health protocol is for all of you guys. It's all inclusive, all encompassing.
Awesome. So let's kind of, people have questions about, well, if I can eat anything and it's all encompassing, then how is it actually specific to Parkinson's and brain health? So let's talk first about the pros and cons of the Mediterranean diet, because I would say in general, that's what we promote inside of the Parkinson's Gut Health Protocol. So can you talk us through the pros and if you need cons for the Mediterranean diet and Parkinson's?
Yeah. There's lots of pros. So it's micronutrient dense, it's well balanced. I mean, you're going to meet all of your needs. It's probably the best diet for brain health, I would say. The only cons is that they do include dairy, I believe, which has been correlated to faster Parkinson's progression, correct? Yeah.
Correct.
So, I mean, the Mediterranean to me is the best diet for your brain, for sure. But dairy, not so great for Parkinson's. I'm trying to think. So it can be heavy on the grains too, but overall, it's the best diet for Parkinson's and for your brain health overall, for sure.
Awesome. Yeah,
I'm a big fan of the Mediterranean diet. I mean,
we obviously are biased.
Evidence-based for every ailment, whether that's
say that again.
High blood pressure. I mean, it's the most evidence-based diet for most health issues, to be honest. So whether that's high blood pressure, cancer prevention, everything, brain health as well. So it's definitely my go-to. Oh,
that also goes into.
I think I just froze for a second.
No, you're okay. I can see you. I can hear you. Okay. That actually brings me to another question I'm going to jump up to, which is eating fat bad for heart disease, but good for Parkinson? So the Mediterranean diet encourages lots of healthy fats. Fats are really good for brain health, which is why we encourage it for Parkinson's. But there are people in here who don't just have Parkinson's, they have diagnosis of heart disease or maybe even high cholesterol. So can you tell us a little bit about how someone might navigate starting to eat higher amounts of fat in their diet while also kind of being weary or being aware of their history of high cholesterol?
Well, I mean, I'm sure as you know, like fat has always been demonized in our culture as being what caused heart disease. But honestly, it's inflammation, which you have to have heart disease. And what drives inflammation? Well, refined carbohydrate, too much sugar, not enough physical activity. Those are the things that lead to heart disease. Fat does not cause heart disease, okay? Just to make that clear, because there's so much research showing that fat is actually great for our brains and can be really good for our heart health as well.
Yeah, I have a quick question for you, and I don't want to put you on the spot, but is there is there a resource somewhere that if someone's a little bit doubtful about, they're a little worried about their ticker, they've been super bad for heart disease, is there a resource that maybe they could go, a book to read, a study, something that and I'm not even hinting at some go to read more about?
So even you're freezing on me for some reason, but can you hear me? So even in the most recent dietary guidelines, they basically state that dietary cholesterol is not, can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dietary cholesterol is not correlated to blood levels of cholesterol and heart disease. So that's in the most recent dietary panel. They're done every 5 years. This one was done in 2017, I believe. So you can find that probably on PubMed. But again, so dietary cholesterol is not correlated with heart disease whatsoever or your blood levels of cholesterol. So you can intake cholesterol all day. It's not going to show in your blood levels necessarily. Okay. Does that make
Got
sense?
it. Makes
Yeah.
sense to me. And this might be a new thing for people. And so I know that it's going to take a lot of trust. There's a lot of things that have happened over the last however many years that's really just been about lobbying that has demonized fat and really encouraged you to eat high amounts of grains and carbohydrates, and dairy, and a lot of these things that aren't actually driven by research. They're driven by money. And we won't get into the politics of it because that's not what we're here to do today. But
terrible. It makes me so upset.
yeah, there's a lot of unfortunate things that have happened, but the Mediterranean diet in general, you can be sure, as long as you're minimizing the things that are inflaming your system and maximizing the things that are healing your system, you're going to be okay. But of course, you always want to check with your physician before making any dramatic changes to your diet. So that brings us back to, hopefully you can hear me and I'm not frozen anymore.
No, you're good. You're
okay.
good.
Let's talk about the pros and cons of veganism for Parkinson's. And I know, Casey, how you feel about this, but there are a lot of people who have been told that veganism is the best thing possible for Parkinson's. And I just want to talk through, there are a lot of great benefits to veganism and maybe any drawbacks of veganism for brain health. Go for it.
So the biggest... This isn't the most popular view. So the biggest issue with vegan diets is possible micronutrient deficiencies. So EPA and DHA, choline are two that are essential to brain health that are really hard to get on a vegan diet. Yeah, you can, but you usually have to supplement. So if you do have a vegan diet, make sure you're on the proper supplementation to optimize your brain health. The biggest risk, again, is just micronutrient deficiencies. B12, iron, EPA, DHA, choline, D3. I just see it all the time in my practice with vegans. I run their blood work and most of them are deficient. So again, make sure you're on the right supplementation if you are a vegetarian or vegan. If you're vegan, I highly recommend maybe considering adding eggs just for the choline, because there's been so much research with Parkinson's and choline deficiency in Parkinson's. So even if you just include eggs, it would make a huge difference in your micronutrients.
Awesome.
But if you don't include eggs, that's okay. You can still supplement with the choline as well.
Okay. Yeah, it just seems like veganism may lead you have to maybe supplement with essential nutrients that, if that's a lifestyle choice that you have to be vegan, we totally understand it. We're not going to tell you to change your views. Go ahead.
I was even vegan for a couple months. I totally understand the ethics behind it. And I wish you didn't run the risk of micronutrient deficiencies, but unfortunately you do. But there are ways to get around it. You can supplement, you can optimize your health being vegan. It's just a little bit harder and it's probably a little bit more expensive, but you definitely can do it for sure.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. And then the next one is about a diet that I think you and I hear about a lot, which is the keto diet. And so maybe you could give a little nod to, I know we've talked about this in previous Q&As, but the keto diet, what's the goal of the keto diet and what's the kind of right way to do keto and the wrong way to do keto?
So the basic goal of ketogenic diet, do you mean like for brain health or just in general?
Well, let's talk about, I put the wrong one up here. Let's just talk about for brain health at first, and then we can talk about, we've got some questions about intermittent fasting to kind of piggyback on it.
For sure. So ketogenic diet is basically a high percentage of fat. It's great for blood sugar stability to have lower refined carbohydrate, but it's also not great because you're not getting the micronutrients that are so essential for your brain from fruit. So, keto can be great for blood sugar management, but it's like, why can't we just have a little bit of fruit in there in the mix to boost those antioxidants to help protect your brain? So again, keto with extra fruit, perfect diet, but just keto, not my favorite.
So I think keto has been associated with, what I hear from people is keto has been associated with high amount of protein, high amount of dairy and cheese, because those aren't sugary, they won't raise your blood sugar. So some people are eating keto and they have a steak, they have dairy, they minimize their fruits and vegetables.
Right.
And so
There's
that,
not enough micronutrients there for sure.
right. So there is a way to take the Mediterranean diet and eat lower carbohydrate, but not completely get rid of fruits and vegetables.
You want most of your carbohydrates to come from fruits and vegetables. So less on the grains, more fruits and vegetables for your carbohydrates, for sure.
Yeah. And that can keep you, keto, the aim of keto is just to keep your blood sugar levels low so that you shift into a state of ketosis, essentially, right? And burn fat instead of, and which is supposed to fuel your brain better than sugar.
Keto has so many drawbacks, especially for women with their hormones and things. Like I'll have a woman doing keto and she'll lose her cycle completely. So it's just not the best for overall health. Like I understand the science behind going ketogenic and getting into ketosis and it kind of simulating that intermittent fasting effects. But honestly, over the long run, I don't think it's sustainable and I don't think it's the best when it comes to your brain for the long run, unless you have epilepsy, which it's actually been proven to help.
Yes, definitely. Well, let's talk a little bit about intermittent fasting because Ben, who is probably watching this, he's been tuning in for everything, sent this question in. What are your opinions of intermittent fasting? Maybe talk us through the pros and the cons, brain health specifically.
So most of the science with intermittent fasting is about the light and dark cycles. When it's light outside, you're actually more insulin sensitive. So your blood sugar is more stable. When you eat at night, you're not as insulin sensitive because your pancreas runs on light and dark cycles, just like everything else in your body. So you want to eat when you're more insulin sensitive, right? So eating when it's light out is more beneficial for your blood sugar. So it's not necessarily about like a certain amount of time to fast. It's more about just eating when it's light out, stopping when it starts to get dark. Does that make sense?
It does make sense, definitely. So the way that that goes into practice, I think, is
You froze on me.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can.
Okay, so you might stop eating a couple hours before the sun goes down, not eat overnight, obviously, and then not eat again until after the sun comes up. So are we back?
I don't know. Can you hear me?
Are you there?
Yeah.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
I just can't hear you. So maybe
Okay.
that's on me.
Um,
Thanks for hanging in there, everybody. I just can't hear you, Casey. All right, everybody. No, you're okay. Okay, maybe you get off. You get off and I get on. Let me know if you guys are watching. Thanks for tuning in and for staying put through the tech difficulties. If you can hear me, let me know in the comment section below. It sounds like Casey could hear me. But we'll get right back on track with our Q&As. I'm going to say hi to people in the comments while we wait. It looks like Ben's in here. Lisa Tatterin is in here, who posted about the end of Alzheimer's diet. Awesome. Marianne is tuning in. Hello. I see your question. I'm not sure what that is, but I will ask Casey. Jamie's here. Michael Gale, Christine Bacon, Cherish, Idelta, Mary Lou, Jenny Gonzalez, what's the best course of actions for migraines? We'll let her answer that. Let's see if she can come back in. Let's see, Lee's in here, Nora, Lois, Mary Ann, again, Patty's in here. So many questions you guys have. This is awesome. Ron's in here, Melinda, Sandy, Vicki Dillian, Erica Wolf, Robert Chalmers. Let me know if you guys can hear me. Oh, we could hear both of you. Oh, everybody's here. Okay, cool. I can hear you. Thanks so much, guys. We can hear you both. Okay, we'll wait for Casey to hop back on. I know she'll be able to get back on here in a second. Let's see. I'm scrolling through here to try and find some questions that maybe I can answer. Mary Ann asked, what does dairy do to your brain and Parkinson's? So Mary, that's actually a really great question. The reason why we recommend not having dairy, especially inside the Parkinson's Gut Health Protocol, but the literature is supporting the fact that dairy is actually correlated to a faster Parkinson's progression, and it's been linked to an increased risk of developing Parkinson's. So as far as what it does to your brain, there are a lot of different theories, but there could be thoughts behind dairy having pesticides in it that contribute to inflammation in your body and your brain, and the misfolding of that protein in your brain that causes Parkinson's. There's also the theory that we're not designed, it actually raises level of inflammation in your body because we're not designed to break down another animal's milk, which, you know, if you think about it, we're the only species that drinks milk not made from our own species. So we drink breast milk as babies, or some of us did, and you know, cow's milk is but like we don't drink human milk when we're adults because that's, or at least not that I've ever heard of, but that could be some fad. But drinking milk from another species, our body doesn't really have the ability to break that down. And the lactose in it can be inflammatory for some people. And what happens is it raises inflammation in your body, which contributes to brain inflammation, which contributes to symptoms. So I would really recommend you read a few of the dairy and Parkinson's studies, Marianne, if you're really curious about the intricacies of what happens. But we recommend avoiding it if you can inside the Parkinson's Gut Health Protocol. All right, let's see. I think I get a text from Casey here. I'm trying to join, but it won't let me back in. Okay, we're gonna see if we can get Casey back on here. Thanks everybody for hanging tight. But we're trying to bring you some good stuff. So part 2, everybody. Welcome back. Parkinson's Nutrition Q&A with Casey Farlow. I apologize for tech glitches. I guarantee that this will go super smooth. 110 degrees, so I think that everybody's just melting and giving up. So as you check back in, let us know you're here. Give us a thumbs up. If you stuck around, we appreciate you. It will be worth it. We were talking a lot about intermittent fasting, so we can recap a little bit about intermittent fasting. And if you did post a question in the other Facebook Live broadcast, I've made note of them. So we will answer your questions, but come back in, say hi. Casey, you were talking about the pros and cons of like what intermittent fasting means and then how it's beneficial for brain health. So maybe we can start that part back over.
So intermittent fasting basically just means not eating for a certain period of time. And what I was saying before was that it's more beneficial to just eat when it's light out versus like having a certain time frame of fasting. So eating when it's light out, not eat when it starts to get dark out, because you're more insulin sensitive. So your blood sugar is more stable when it's light out. Just super interesting that our pancreas is on light and dark cycles, just like the rest of our body. So it's super, super fascinating. But do I think you need to do like 16 hours or 8-hour feeding windows? Not necessarily. I think it's just really about the light and dark cycles for benefit.
Okay, so that might look like not eating for a couple hours before you go to bed and maybe saving your eating and drinking too. Coffee, does this go for liquid beverages as well?
So different scientists say different stuff. I would say like try not to have anything besides water after probably like 6 o'clock at night, like when it starts to get dark out. Okay. So you want to avoid like the late night snacking, things like that, that can, you know, make you more insulin resistant.
Okay, awesome. All right, we'll check that one.
For my last talk, that blood sugar stability is one of the most important things for helping Parkinson's progression.
Yes, and if you didn't see the last Facebook Live interview with Casey, which had a lot less tech glitches, about sugar and Parkinson's, it's on our YouTube channel. It was a really, really awesome Q&A that she did, but it talked all about sugar and craving it, and what do you do if you want a sugar fix, all kinds of good things. And we did have actually one question from Larry Cunningham, who submitted. He wanted to know what the difference was between added sugar when you look at a nutrition label and natural sugars. What's the difference, and how does that impact your brain health?
So natural sugars are what are naturally in fruits and vegetables, right? Added sugars are what are added that aren't natural. So just added sugar that your body doesn't really need. So you always want to have lower added sugar. Natural sugars are completely okay because remember, you have that fiber to buffer your blood sugar. Okay, so the added sugar doesn't have that same fiber to keep your blood sugar stable throughout the day. So you want to have those natural sugars that are in that we call food matrix, where they have that fiber to keep your blood sugar a little bit more stable. Does that make sense? Do you have anything to add to that?
Hello, hello. I'm so sorry for everybody if you are watching, if you can see. Casey, I don't know if you're there. I can't see you, but I do, while I'm waiting, I'm sorry about the tech glitches, everybody. We're really trying hard here. But let's see. Oh, Casey will come back. I see Mary Ann, is agave a natural sugar? Yes, agave is a natural sugar. It's kind of in the same class as honey. We can double check with Casey when she gets back on here. But I think Jocelyn said, how does that work in the winter? Do you eat dinner super early? I think if you're talking about intermittent fasting, Jocelyn, then yes. So you would extend the amount of intermittent fasting time overnight if you can. I think it's just a general idea of, letting your gut system settle overnight, when you're sleeping. If your body doesn't have anything in its stomach really to digest, then it can work on putting its energy toward repairing other things in your body. So if the winters are really, if the night is really long, essentially there's less sunlight in the winter, you can do things like maybe eating things that are a little bit easier for your body to break down in the evening. So we always recommend bone broth. It's just like a stock, soup stock. So it's got a lot of awesome minerals in it, a lot of nutrients in there, but it's really easy for your body to break down and digest. So that might be a good thing in the winter, to have maybe some soups later in the day to be a little bit easier on your gut as you slip into sleep. They actually help you fall asleep a little bit better. And you can even do some broths early in the morning as you kind of wait out that winter period. So hopefully that answers your question, Jocelyn. We're seeing if Casey can get back in here. And Michael Gale, what about if you work the night shifts? That's going to be a better question for Casey. I don't know the answer to that question. So we will wait for her to get back on here. I'm checking. Welcome back, everybody. Patty's here. Michael Gale, welcome back. Cheryl from Michigan. Hey, guys. Awesome. Welcome, welcome. I think we're getting Casey back here. There she is. Sorry.
Hi.
Hi. Okay. Welcome back. Let's go on to, I know we're just gonna hop back into it while we've got time.
Okay.
Let's see. So someone submitted, I forget who this was, but will taking minerals and amino acids be beneficial for my Parkinson's symptoms? And Casey and I were talking about this a little bit, and I wanted to chime in before I hand it over to Casey for her expert opinion as well. But I know in my experience, I've been working with the Parkinson's community for a really long time, and there is this protocol, amino acid protocol for Parkinson's, that's circulated. There's a clinic or maybe multiple clinics that implement this amino acid therapy to help people restore some of their function. And Casey will tell me if this is wrong or right, but I had never heard of it before, and I don't think Casey had really heard about it before. So I did some digging, and honestly, there isn't strong enough research for me to make a recommendation to follow that type of protocol. Your body is your choice. If you think that that's a good choice for you, you can always give it a try. And there have been some people even in our community that have had good results with it. But I don't necessarily promote it. And Casey, I can turn that over to you to see what your thoughts are about amino acid therapy in Parkinson's.
I mean, it honestly doesn't really make much sense, like what the benefit of the amino acid profile would be, because honestly, you can get most of those amino acids from the food that you're eating, from your protein sources. Minerals, on the other hand, there can be benefit because most of us are mineral deficient because our water source is a little bit different. It doesn't have those same minerals that it used to. So, like the Celtic sea salt is a great way to get some minerals. So there's nothing wrong with taking a mineral supplement. Don't think you guys need amino acid supplementation. As long as you're getting protein with your lunch and your dinners is totally sufficient.
Okay, awesome. And we had someone else ask if they could still have Celtic sea salt with high blood pressure. I think the question was actually with high cholesterol, but most people are concerned about having salt with high blood pressure.
Yeah.
So can you, and I'm happy to chime in too, but can you talk about that just a little bit?
So that's kind of the same thing as fat being correlated to heart disease. Salt doesn't necessarily increase your blood pressure. That's been kind of debunked in a lot of ways. You can chime in on that, but that's my understanding from the research is that salt and sea salt doesn't necessarily correlate to that high blood pressure. It's more inflammation, inactivity, diet, that kind of stuff increases your blood pressure, stress, not so much the salt. So for some people, I think there's a small percentage of the population that it does help. But again, that's a small percentage of the population. It's not everybody. So as long as you're taking your blood pressure regularly, keeping that monitored, making sure it's regulated, it should be fine. I wouldn't worry too much about the salt intake.
Yeah, and Celtic sea salt is more than just sodium. It's not been stripped like table salt has of its minerals. Celtic sea salt has the most number of minerals and nutrients in it. It comes in a whole form, and when you add it to your water, it actually helps you absorb the water a little bit better and provides you with 84 some different minerals and nutrients that your brain needs and your heart needs and your blood vessels need and your skin needs, and it actually helps you absorb the water into your organs even a little bit better. So of course, we are never promoting going against your physician's advice. We are not your healthcare providers. We're just people who are happy to pass on what we've researched and what we've learned so that you can take it and analyze it for yourself, work with your healthcare providers, and put it into your plan if it works for you. So
That's the thing, like nutrition science is continually changing. And it's hard because people lose faith because they're like, wait, I heard this, and then I heard this, and now you're telling me this. So it is really tough. And it's up to us to help you guys stay up to date on the latest research when it comes to nutrition and how to optimize your health. Am I by myself?
All right, and we're back. Sorry about that, guys. What I was saying was that Casey just mentioned that staying up to date on the research is really, really important. And I think that's one of the main reasons why we made the Parkinson's gut health protocol. It's been in the making for over 5 years. We've been watching the nutrition research come out, and unfortunately, we've seen a lot of people receive it with a lot of confusion and sometimes anger around what the research is saying about what to eat and what not to eat, and how it correlates to your brain health. So we wanted to take all of the research and put it into a digestible, consumable format, and that's the 6-week gut healing protocol that we've created. You can go to invigoratept.com/gut health again to get signed up. Enrollment closes on Thursday, but inside that program, we're going to help you heal your gut and get down to the heart of what's important and what's not when it comes to all of this nutrition research for brain health. So thanks so much for sticking with all of these tech glitches. I wanted to, while we're waiting for Casey to pop back in, I can tackle a few of these questions we have. So I think someone asked, what are some signs of gut problems? This is Dawn's question. In the Parkinson's signs that your gut is not healthy. And this isn't just indigestion. This isn't just localized to your stomach and your digestive system. When your gut is leaky, it actually contributes to a whole host of systemic symptoms, which is like your whole body. So really common ones are fatigue, which is low energy, weakness, lethargy, joint pain, skin issues, allergies, hormone issues can be a sign of some type of unhealthy gut, diabetes definitely, brain fog, those types of symptoms. If you're having them, some of it might be caused by the lack of dopamine in Parkinson's, and that's going to be the case. But a lot of the fatigue and a lot of the really debilitating symptoms can be improved if we can start to heal your gut, hydrate you properly, get some good nutrients in there to help heal your cells. That's the goal of the gut health program. We're not trying to cure Parkinson's. We're just trying to help you stack the cards in your favor. So some of these symptoms that are really burying you, like fatigue and low energy and weakness and kind of lack of vigor, can be improved so you can go out and live your life despite having a Parkinson's diagnosis. So hopefully this means that Casey is coming back. And I really appreciate everybody sticking with it and asking all of your questions. Robert says, what do you recommend as a workout snack? And it depends on, is it before workout, after workout? Robert, but surrounding your workouts, or before a workout, you want to have something that might be a little bit more carbohydrate dense, assuming that you're doing something really, really active. So you might, but also a whole food. So pre-workout, hi.
Hi.
We have a question.
Oh,
Welcome back. Robert was asking about, what do you recommend as a workout snack, maybe before and after workouts that might be good for your brain health?
Yeah, so you want to make sure it's a PFC snack. So what does that mean? I want you guys to have protein, fat, and carbohydrates, at least 2 of those 3, especially before a workout. So instead of just having a banana, have a banana and some nut butter so you get that fat and proteins with your carbohydrate. That's going to keep your blood sugar more stable and give you more energy for your workout as well.
Any other ideas about proteins and PFC?
Any kinds of fruits, nuts, seeds, nut butters, jerky sticks.
That's a good start.
Trying to think of other ones.
Those are really good in any combination.
Hummus, guacamole, and veggies, because you get your protein and fat from those as well. So.
Awesome. Thanks, Casey. Okay. And I was also reminding everyone about the Parkinson's Gut Health Protocol while you were gone. So, all right, let's see.
It's going to be so good.
It's going to be so good. Okay, I've been putting my questions up on the screen, but I think that might be messing with our connection here. So, okay. Casey, someone was asking about how to eat healthy without losing weight. Mm-hmm. So what would your recommendations be?
Yeah, so you can always make switches, right? If you get rid of a food, there's always a food that can replace it. So you're not going to have any kind of caloric decrease if you're replacing it with something really good. In the gut health protocol, we have a whole worksheet that says if you're replacing this is a good option. So what was that noise? Did you hear that?
I think
so
it's going on around me right now.
Welcome to the live broadcast. Okay, so I'm trying to think of some of the replacements. So you can always have something to replace it. So let's say for dairy, for cow's milk, there's almond milk, there's coconut milk, there's flaxseed milk. There's so many different options to replace that cow's milk. So you're not going to lose weight if you replace those things calorically. They're just going to be more nutrient dense, which is wonderful, right?
Yes, and that's something that we talk about ad nauseum inside of our protocol, and also in all of these posts that we've been doing. Is the way that you fail the fastest is by taking everything that's bad for you out and not eating anything, because then your whole system shuts down. And that's, Casey and I have seen that way too many times, especially with the Parkinson's world. And we want to take some of the fear out of food. We want to empower you to make decisions. And also, when you cut out something, we always insist, and we do this in the protocol, If you're going to get rid of something that's inflammatory, what are you going to substitute in to replace it? We're not taking anything away. So we don't want you to be in a caloric deficit. We don't want you to be afraid of food. You know, the whole, you know, we also don't need you to give it up 100% forever. We're not insane people here, and you shouldn't be either, you know? So
we systematically reduce and reintroduce, right? So we're not going to ever tell you to give up foods forever. We might have you reduce them for a period of time and then bring them back in to see how your body reacts. Because here's the deal, everybody's different. Everybody's body's different. People are inflamed for different reasons. Some people have issues with specific foods. Some people don't. So it's important for you to be able to eliminate and then reintroduce to figure out what could be your problem foods that might not be a problem for somebody else.
absolutely, that's 100% right. And we'll help you do that inside the course through the 4R method. Remove. Let's see if I can do this live with my brain fried. We're going to remove, then we're going to replace, then we're going to reinoculate, and then we're going to repair. Those are the 4 phases of gut health. And that's how we do exactly what Casey's saying. Phase some things out, see if you're sensitive, put it back in if you're not. Okay, beautiful. We've got another question that I wanted to, I lost it in the comments here.
I remember there was one about somebody was talking about their symptoms and saying like, would micronutrients be good? Or
they were asking about minerals. I think that was part of the minerals and amino acids. Yeah. Which was a really specific question. So I was going to email them back. Let's see. Someone wanted to know what the difference is between your training and my training. So I'll let you go first. Tell us how you're trained.
Yeah, it's very different. So I took the long route to become a registered dietitian. So I actually have 2 undergrad degrees. My first degree is in ecology and evolutionary biology. And then I went back to school. Did you know that? I don't know if you knew that. And then I got my master's in public health and nutrition and knew I wanted to be an RD. And in order to do that, I had to go back and get a whole new degree in nutrition, which took me 2 years. You would think that the biology would overlap with the nutrition. Not really. So it took me another 2 years. And then you do a dietetic internship, which is 1,200 hours supervised practice, where you do rotations in different disciplines. So you do a week in cardiac, a week in renal, a week in so many things. So many things. Public health, so many things. So then I worked in public health for a while, but my passion is obviously functional medicine. But my training included, a degree in nutrition and then a dietetic internship along with my master's degree in public health.
Awesome. And then I am a Parkinson's physical therapist. So I have my doctorate in physical therapy, which is a clinical doctorate. It's not a medical doctorate, which is why I always put the PT after my name and the DPT to designate that I have a doctorate in PT. So I specialized in Parkinson's and started Invigorate 5 years ago, specializing only in treating people diagnosed with Parkinson's. I went through the Parkinson's Wellness Recovery Certification Program to get certified in Parkinson's PT, and then have just been doing a ton of research in Parkinson's only for 5 years and going to conferences and obviously interviewing experts and whatnot. So that's the difference between the two of us. And Casey can be contacted for individual dietetic nutrition consultations through Theory Health, which is theoryhealth.com. If you guys want to sign up with her and talk to her about your nutrition individually outside of or in spite of the Parkinson's Gut Health Protocol. She is a resource for all of you. So I did find my questions here. Sherry asked, she said she's been following Dr. Terry Wall's protocol for MS. If you guys haven't heard of Dr. Terry Wall's, the Wall's protocol is fantastic. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm really hoping that I don't freeze again. Can you still hear me?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm getting antsy. So, Yes, yes. Pizza and sweets. So Sherry, go back and listen to her interview about sugar and PD. We will put it around this video when it's over, but you can go on YouTube and watch that. But what recommendations do you have for a brain healthy pizza? Because I love pizza too.
Okay, let's see. I would do a cauliflower crust because that doesn't have gluten and it's got some micronutrients in it. And then for the cheese part, I don't know.
Nutritional yeast might work.
Yeah,
There's also
yeast. Okay, yeah, that's a great idea. Nutritional yeast, you can have the tomato sauce, or maybe doing like a caprese where you do like oh, that's mozzarella. Dang.
It's okay.
Yeah, nutritional yeast would be the only way to do
This
that.
is live brainstorming. What are your feelings about goat's milk versus cow's milk?
So goat's milk actually is better tolerated by most people. Obviously there's no research on it for Parkinson's, but if you're really dying for some milk, I mean, goat's milk is definitely a better alternative to cow's dairy, just for health overall and just digestion as well. But again, there's no research for Parkinson's. We do know that dairy isn't the best for Parkinson's, but goat's milk, we don't really know.
Yeah. Okay. So you could put some maybe goat's milk on your goat's milk cheese on your pizza if you really wanted to have dairy.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely.
And a bunch of veggies. That might be. It's really hard to. My husband really likes. There's a gluten-free crust brand of pizza that I typically don't recommend people buy just things because they're gluten-free, because you really need to check the ingredients, unfortunately. But there maybe we can brainstorm on that or come up with a pizza recipe for our 10-day meal plan.
I mean, at the same time, it's like you can have the pizza on occasion, right? I mean, you don't want to eat the pizza every day. Having a slice of pizza once every couple weeks is not going to move the needle all that much. So, if you want the pizza, have it now and then.
Yes, now and then in moderation for sure. Okay, someone was asking, I think this was Barbara, who's one of our boosters, I think is probably watching. She asked, she said happy birthday, and she wants to know if you're going to have cake on your birthday.
I'm not. Is that such a dietitian thing to say? No, we actually celebrated this weekend because I'm obviously working today. So I did what did I have for my weekend birthday? I don't think I even had dessert because I was too full from the surf and turf that I had. That was so delicious. But yeah, I think, oh no, I'm lying. It was like a ice cream sandwich my husband and I split. Not the best. But when it's your birthday, like I always say, every now and again, it's okay.
Casey disappears and I appear. This is just like, surprise, you don't know who you're going to get. Okay, we're back. We're here.
I'm back.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi. This is just all of it at once. Okay, let's see. Somebody asked, Mary Crouse actually asked, are you a fan of perlmutter and Gundry? Gundry. I definitely know of perlmutter. I think Gundry's been mentioned in the last few weeks a little bit. I don't know much about his work, but Dr. Perlmutter's books, Grain Brain and Brain Maker, I've read them. I think Casey probably has read them as well.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely read Grain Brain. I don't think I've read the other one.
Brain Maker, and I think he's coming out with a new one that's like a brain dump or something like that. It's like a detox. But anyway, we are big fans of Perlmutter and his research. Also Dale Bredesen, Dr. Terry Walls, Lori Mishley, obviously all of their work has gone into the Parkinson's Gut Health Protocol. Do you know of Dr. I don't.
Dr. Gundry? Mm-mm.
Okay, we'll look them up though. We'll look them up. Let's see, what about pink Himalayan sea salt? Connie, definitely, you can definitely have pink Himalayan sea salt. That's like, Celtic sea salt's the top notch, and right underneath it is Himalayan pink sea salt, in my opinion. Do we disagree, Casey?
I don't know the difference between Celtic sea salt and Himalayan sea salt. What is the difference?
I think Celtic sea salt just has something like 84 different minerals in it, and Himalayan has like 60 some. So it's like
You know what?
Celtic.
I'm gonna go get me some Celtic sea salt then. I didn't know that.
Hey, look at us. We're educating our dietitian.
I do love my Himalayan sea salt and lemon in my water, especially after workouts, because I find that it hydrates better.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, I got to pop over here to check other questions. Can you still see me and hear me?
I can.
Okay, beautiful. We had some questions on the last Facebook Live. I'm just popping back over there to check in. Jenny Gonzalez wanted to know, what's the best course of action for migraines? That's brain health related.
So for migraines, I usually recommend doing MRT testing. It's a food sensitivity test, so you can figure out exactly which foods cause inflammation. But also stress reduction. There's some really good supplements like magnesium threonate, I think it's how you say it. It's the best magnesium for crossing the blood-brain barrier, and it's been shown to be really effective for migraines as well. But yeah, it's good to rule out any kind of food reactivity. Gut health, making sure your gut is up to snuff. If you're doing our program, that's probably going to help your symptoms, to be honest, of migraines, with the supplementation and everything in there as well.
Okay. And then I'm going to put our little website up here at the bottom. We also had somebody ask about kombucha and gut health. What's your opinion on kombucha and gut health?
So kombucha can be a good source of probiotics, that good bacteria, but honestly, not much of it survives your gastrointestinal tract. So if it's something that you enjoy drinking and it's yummy to you, by all means, like it's not going to hurt. Is it really going to move the needle of your microbiome? Probably not. Fiber is probably going to do a better job of that than kombucha.
Okay, awesome. That's good to know. I drink kombucha a little bit, but it has a little bit too much caffeine in it, sometimes for me.
Yeah, I mean, that bacteria just has a hard time like making it through into your small intestine and your colon because your stomach kills a lot of it. I mean, it's very acidic, right? So it kind of takes being in a capsule that's acid resistant to be able to get all the way down there. But there are some like kefir but that's dairy. I'm trying to remember our like sauerkraut, can't have that with certain medications. I'm trying to remember what the probiotic foods that we recommended.
Options were.
Yeah.
We definitely talked about the probiotic in the course. We talked a lot about prebiotics. With you are taking an MAOB inhibitor, fermented foods.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay. If you're taking an MAOB inhibitor, which is sometimes prescribed for blood pressure in Parkinson's, you want to be really wary of fermented foods because they can drive your blood pressure up. But if you are on any other Parkinson's medication, fermented foods and probiotic foods are just fine, kombucha included. So cool. We had Patty Jones ask, ice cream is a no-no, so how about fruit bars made with fruit or juice? There's also sugar-free versions of those. How do you feel about fruit popsicles?
Fine. I mean, I would have the normal sugar one, not the fake sugar. Don't do the sugar-free. That fruit sugar is not bad for you, okay? But we do want to have it closer to a meal so that it stabilizes your blood sugar. Having fruit by itself can spike your blood sugar a little bit. So try to have it with some protein and some fat just to stabilize your blood sugar a little bit better.
Perfect. Yep. Definitely watch her sugar interview. It was so good. There was so much good stuff in there. So make sure to watch that. It's on YouTube. We'll make sure to link it somewhere around here so you can find it. But Marianne also asked, is beta glucan from algae a good supplement?
I'm not familiar with it in terms of benefiting brain health. So I don't know if it's evidence-based enough to spend your money on. But if it's something that you just enjoy taking and you've read something that makes you feel good about it, by all means take it. You know, placebo effect can be really powerful too. So if it's something you feel like is helping you and you feel better taking it, it's probably great. You there?
Oh, I'm here.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So I think that we have covered most questions. I'm sorry if we've lost any of your questions in the craziness of today. I guess Dr. Gundry wrote the plant paradox. Have you heard of that? I've heard of that book.
Is it
We
the
probably,
China study?
it's the plant paradox. I don't know. If he is a big proponent of plant-based eating, we definitely get along. So it's just, we also encourage you to have some animal proteins here and there in different amounts. That was a question.
Eggs and fish.
Eggs and fish. So something that there was a question, there are a few more that I see. So one is, we've talked a lot about how dairy's been linked to Parkinson's onset and also linked to faster Parkinson, or correlated with faster Parkinson's progression. And also beef in Dr. Mishley's study has been correlated to faster Parkinson's progression, maybe because of the iron content. So someone asked about grass-fed beef and grass-fed dairy. Tell me your thoughts. I know what they are because we built this program and we talked about that.
So, where you source your proteins is super important because that determines the health of the meat, right? The health of the animal determines the health of the meat. So buying grass-fed, pasture-raised is always best. Also, if you can, try to get your proteins from your farmer's market. Getting that locally sourced meat is really important. And that was part of Dr. Mishley's study that showed that Parkinson's patients that shopped at the farmer's market actually had slower disease progression. It was correlated with slower progression. So I thought that was super interesting.
Yeah, definitely. When you try and buy organic and you shop locally at a farmer's market or a co-op, those people have been correlated to having a slower Parkinson's progression. Again, that doesn't mean cause and effect necessarily, but she's trying to find patterns of what people are doing who have slower progression, what they're doing, so that the rest of us can copy them, right?
Yep.
So that was Dr. Mishley's study. Again, her study's free. You guys don't have to go into our course to read all about her stuff. It's the complementary and alternative medicine for Parkinson's study. If you just search PRO-PD study, you'll find Dr. Lori Mishley's work. It's for free on the internet. The only thing our course does is help you put all of this research into a plan of attack, into a strategy that you can just show up, do your homework, implement it, and get results. So we're not holding your health hostage, as I think someone told me that I'm doing earlier this week.
I was fear mongering today, and I'm like, why?
We're just trying to help, everybody. We're just trying to help. And if you don't want to buy the course, it's okay. You can find a bunch of free resources, seriously, online on our websites. You guys can access those for free. We list all of the research studies, all of the books. Go read them. Go do it. We don't have to do it through us. We just want you to take action. And if you need a little bit of help, we're here for you. And thank you to everyone who has already joined the Parkinson's Gut Health Protocol. We're so excited to have you, and we promise it'll be worth your effort. We are invested in you as much as you are invested in us. So thank you so much for staying tuned. Let's see. Monica Nova, how often can you drink apple cider vinegar with lemon and warm water?
How often?
How often?
I always recommend doing it before a meal because you want that acidity to go up so you can digest your food a little bit better. I don't think you can necessarily overdo it. I don't know. What do you think? I guess you can. It could cause acid reflux. But you have to be drinking really a lot to have any kind of maleffects, I would think.
Yeah. Apple cider vinegar also can be hard on your teeth, I believe, or at least that's my non-dentist impression of apple cider vinegar. So doing it before meals, having an ounce of it before your meals, swishing your mouth out with some water. Also go off of what you feel. Your gut is different than everybody else's gut. And so if you notice you can do it one time a day and you feel pretty good, but you do it twice a day and you don't feel so hot, maybe back off to one time. There may be other people who can do it before every meal. It really just depends on your gut, and your gut is unique to you 100%. So start with one time a day and work your way up, I would say, if you want to try it with every meal.
She asked, can you drink it daily? And absolutely, you can drink it daily.
Cool.
You just don't want to drink so much that you're having kind of that burning sensation in your throat. For me, I probably couldn't do more than a couple of tablespoons a day or 3 tablespoons a day. But if you can do more than that, That's wonderful. I mean, good for you. But it hurts kind of when you have
It's a
too much
little
of
burny. Yeah, it burns.
the
Oh, let's see. Mary says Gundry is lectin free, recommends not eating vegetables or grains with lectins. That's a big part of his book. This is why I've heard of it, because someone in my family got recommended this book. They say no tomatoes, no whole grains, no anything with lectins, which is actually quite a bit of thing. So have you heard that before? Not having lectins. It's also kind of like a nightshade. There's a nightshade element to it.
Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. Everybody's different, right? I mean, some people can tolerate lectins just fine. If you're having gastrointestinal issues and you want to give it up for a little while to see if it helps, by all means, that's totally okay. I'm a big fan of the paleo diet, which doesn't include lectins, like no greens. I feel really good eating that way. Some people don't. So it really depends on you. And through our gut health protocol, we help you figure out the best diet for you as well. Through a systematic elimination and reintroduction, you're able to be empowered to figure out the foods that you have issues with specifically, and not just doing like a blanket diet like this is good for everybody, because everything has to be individualized to have the most benefit.
Absolutely. There's a strong foundation, and then you can individualize it off of that foundation. For the most part, excessive sugar isn't great for everybody. That's a foundational thing, right? For everybody, we all need to be hydrated. That's a foundational thing. Some of these like basic truths. But individualization, maybe tomatoes don't treat you very well, or, I can have sprouted grains once in a while, but I can't have dairy more than a couple ounces before I start to break out. Whereas other people could tackle a whole block of cheese at once, and maybe they don't feel great, but they're going to, rebound just fine. So your gut microbiome is unique. And inside the gut health protocol, that's why we don't have a strict protocol of this is every meal that you need to eat, because that's not realistic and long term. We walk you through the foundations. We help you build that foundation, and then experiment and give you some guided experiments to try to help you find which kind of path you want to travel. It's your nutritional path, and it doesn't have to be strict, and it doesn't have to be super extreme.
Yeah.
So,
and it's figuring out which foods react to your body negatively and which ones are positive. And through the whole protocol, you figure that out, which is really empowering, because you figure out the best diet for you specifically that's going to be different from me.
Yeah. Great. Just have patience. Hi. So, Alyssa, there are no CEU credits available for this course. If you're a healthcare practitioner and you're looking to send some of your Parkinson's clientele into this course, we really appreciate that. We will take good care of them, I promise. If you're looking for CEU credits when you take the course, this is the first time we've offered this course live, so we are still working out all the kinks. We've had multiple people request that, so in the future, Alyssa, it may be available for CEU credits, but right now it's not. It's just you learn it and you spread it to your husband and your clients, and hopefully you feel good about it.
It's a great resource for healthcare providers. Like it's, you have a step-by-step approach to use with your patients, which is really awesome.
Yes,
and all
absolutely.
the research right there for you to present to your clients as well, or your patients.
Oh, no. Come back. Okay.
Am I here?
Yes. I think when it goes out, you can just not hop off, maybe. I don't know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Let's talk while we've got the time. All right. Sandy says, my wife's got chickens. We have a lot of eggs. I was wondering if that was good for gut health and brain health. We talked about eggs, but go ahead. Go ahead. Let's do it again, Casey.
Yeah, I mean, eggs are so wonderful. They're full of choline, which is incredible for Parkinson's. I actually had a study. Let me pull it up real quick. I had a study about choline in here somewhere. Okay, so there was a study showing that supplementing choline in Parkinson's patients showed a 23% reduction in slowness and a 33% reduction in rigidity just by supplementing choline. This was actually out of Dr. Michelle's work. But yeah, so choline and eggs are the best source of choline. So highly recommend you guys getting those eggs. I would say at least probably one a day. Get up one hard-boiled egg a day.
Was there an amount in that study of amount of choline that they supplemented with, or is it just a general?
It was 500 milligrams, which is substantial. And it was a specific type of choline, which is called, it's CDP choline. And it had a brand name, and I don't think I wrote it down. So if you look for a choline supplement, make sure to look for the initial CDP in front of the choline, because that's supposed to be the most bioavailable.
Okay. Or just eat some eggs, guys.
Unless you're eggs, that's the best way to get it. But if you're vegan, we still love the vegans. You guys can supplement.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, Mary says, happy birthday, Casey. Go celebrate. Red wine?
Oh, thanks, Mary. Yes, you guys, red wine. I mean, it's actually been shown to be correlated with slower Parkinson's progression, which is great news, right? So I always say for women, no more than 1 glass a day. For men, no more than 2 glasses. But 1 glass a day for everybody is probably optimal for your brain health.
Cool. Awesome. We all love to hear that. Yes. And everybody is saying thank you. Awesome. You guys are so welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. If you have more questions, put them in the comments and let us know. But if you have more questions about Parkinson's and nutrition and gut health, we could talk for days. This is the 3rd interview I've done with Casey, and there's still more questions coming. Everybody, the Parkinson's Gut Health Protocol takes all of this stuff and breaks it down into bite-sized pieces so that you can digest it, no pun intended, and put it into practice. It's really just us trying to help guide you to kind of change your behavior, right? Shift towards a more brain-boosting way of eating, but not a perfect way of eating, or not only you can have this, only you can have that on these days. It's just really a way to empower you to know what you can have, what you should maybe stay away from or minimize, what resources are out there. And it's just building up this skill. It's really a skill of eating well after a Parkinson's diagnosis. So if you are feeling like it would be a good fit for you, you can go to greatpt.com/gut health. I forgot the gut health on the link here, /gut health, and enroll. And we're closing the doors on Thursday at midnight. If you join before then, we're so excited to have you. You have access to all of the things. Immediately when you join, you get access to the workbook, the first 2 modules with content in it. And then come Sunday, August 18th, which is this upcoming Sunday, you'll have access to the newest module, Module 3, and all the meal plans and bonuses that we have available for you guys. So there's so much good stuff in this program. And if you feel like it's a fit for you, invigoratept.com/gut health. If you think that you need personalized nutrition that goes beyond just the capacity of a course, Casey is available for individual consultations. She's fantastic. I've gone to her myself after some gut issues coming back from Japan and swimming in a bad spring. I got some things.
I don't know if we talked about your protocol yet.
It's working. It's working really well. Yes. My gut feels fantastic and my skin is happier. And that was within 3 or 4 days of starting the protocol that you put me on. So anyway, fun stories about Sarah's gut health on live, Facebook Live. We all have gut issues, right? Casey's great. Yes. Where can people find you online if they want to work with you directly, Casey?
Yeah, so you guys can go to my website, theoryhealth.com. You can also email me at casey@theoryhealth.com. You can also go to thebraindietitian.com. I've got so many things. And you can find me, I'm super active on Instagram at the.brain.dietitian. You guys find me, I'm updating all the time and giving really good Parkinson's research for you guys too.
She is. She is an amazing resource. Everybody's saying thank you, Marianne, Robert, cheers. Thanks from Kansas City. Monica, great job, ladies. Thanks for hanging in there, everybody. This has been the worst technological glitch broadcast we've ever done in my entire life, but you know, it's worth coming back for. Who else is in here? Jocelyn, thank you so much. Looking forward to starting the program. Ben, thank you, Casey and Dr. King. Casey's my granddaughter's name. I must be good. That's cute. And happy birthday, Casey. Thanks so much for joining us on your birthday.
Yes, for sure. Thank you guys. Such a pleasure to be here as always.
Yes. All right, everybody. Until we see you next time, keep moving, and we're both sending you lots of big hugs.
Can't wait to see y'all in the course.
Yeah. Exactly.
Bye, guys.
Bye.